So at the top of your paper, this is Unit 1, Topic 4. Yesterday we did operations. Today we're doing what's called composition. It might look confusing at first, but it is not any different than what we did yesterday. The only difference is instead of putting in a number, I'm putting in an expression. So instead of putting in a number 2, I might be putting in x plus 2. Okay, but we're going to break it down. So today is the 8th. You have a quiz tomorrow. And when is your test? Which is what day? Monday. No, nothing is open note. Okay? All right, so just like yesterday, we're going to start with 3 functions given to you. Okay? So f of x will equal 2x plus 10. G of x will equal negative 3x. And h of x will equal 4x squared minus 1. Okay. So let's start easy. Let's start with what I think will be easiest. If I write, excuse me, g of f of 3. Okay, I'll show you how to read it. G of f of 3. Now here's the easy part. We're going to solve it backwards. So I'm going to start inside. And if I just gave you this part right here, would you know what to do? What would you do? Change the x to a 3 in which function? F. In f. Okay, so that's where I start. I'm going to plug 3 into the f function. So that means the first thing I'm going to do is f of 3. So I have 2x plus 10, but instead of x, what am I putting there? A 3. So I have 2 times 3, which is 6, plus 10, which equals 16. Any questions so far? That's what we did yesterday all day, right? Put a number into a function. Okay? Now watch what I'm going to do. If I ask you what does f of 3 equal, what could you tell me? What does f of 3 equal? 16. So this right here is 16. So now my problem says g of 16. And if I tell you to solve g of 16, what does that mean to you? You're going to take the function g and plug in what number? 16. So instead of negative 3 times x, I have negative 3 times 16. So what will my answer be? What is negative 3 times 16? Well, then figure it out. Come on. Negative 48 would be my final answer. How did I know I should have a number as a final answer? Because that 3 in the problem told me to have a number. Okay, let's go try another one like that. We want to try another one? Okay. All right, so ready? I'm going to write it differently because it can be written with multiple parentheses or it can be written like this. G of G, so the O is an of, negative 1. So I still read this the same way. G of G of negative 1. So again, we're going to start right to left. So I'm plugging negative 1 into the function g. So I'm going to plug in my negative 1 into the function g. Everybody should be able to do that. Plugging negative 1. So negative 3 times negative 1, which equals 3. Okay? So now, if I asked you, what is g of negative 1, what would you tell me that answer is? 3. So now what am I going to do? Plug 3 into the first letter, which just happened to be g again. So now I have g of 3. And if I plug a 3 in there, I'll have negative 3 times 3, which will give me an answer of negative 9. Was I supposed to have a number for an answer? Yes. Would you like to try one on your own? Yes. Yes, we do. All right, let's see here. What if I tell you f of h of 2? F of h of 2. So I'm just going to get you started. What are you going to plug in first? 2 into what? 2 into h. Do that on your paper and look up and check. Make sure you're very careful with the exponent. Everybody should be plugging 2 into h. And then, when I get that answer, what am I going to plug that answer into? What am I plugging this answer into? Into f. So now I have f of 15. My previous answer gets plugged in. So 2 times 15 plus 10, which would be. So my final answer is 40. Questions so far? So I plug in and get a number, and then what do I do with that answer? I plug it in again. Okay? Okay. Now let's go look what happens if I don't give you a number. Okay? So what happens if I don't give you a number? So let's try f of g of x. So what is this telling me to plug in first? Plug x into g. Is x already in g? Then that's already done for you, isn't it? So watch how easy this becomes. What is g of x? So negative 3x, right? So I'm taking my negative 3x and I'm plugging it into the letter f. So if f of negative 3x, so I'm taking out the x and plugging in the negative 3x. So instead of 2 times x, I have 2 times negative 3x plus 10. What is 2 times negative 3x? Plus 10. Can I actually combine those? Why not? One has a letter and one does not. And what did you say, James?
I said you need a letter answer.
You need a letter answer. How did I know I needed a letter answer? Because the x is inside. Okay, let's try one more like this. Okay? What if I give you h of g of x? So what is it asking you to plug in first? Plug x into g. Is x already plugged into g? Then I already know what this part is. What is g of x? Negative 3x. So now I'm plugging my negative 3x into what problem? Into h. So I have h of negative 3x. Plug it in and then freeze, and let's talk about how to make sure we solve it correctly. Okay? So it should say 4 times negative 3x squared minus 9. Listen to my question. If I have 5 squared, what does that mean? 5 times 5. So over here, I have negative 3x squared. What does that mean? Not just negative 3. What else has to be with it? X. So what is negative 3x times negative 3x? Positive 9 what?
Square.
9x squared. Okay? So I have 4 times 9x squared minus 1. What is 4 times 9x squared? 36 what? X squared minus 1. Can I combine those? Should my answer have a letter in it? Does my answer have a letter in it? Yes. Okay? So, I think the number ones are pretty simple because it's kind of what we've been doing. Do we agree with those? Okay? So here's my suggestion today. On your assignment, I would maybe go find 3 number ones and get them done. Like just pick 3 and get them done right now. Okay? Then go work on the ones with letters. Here's what I need you to do though. I need you to cross off number 4, number 8, and number 15. So you're on the side that just says composition of functions. The other side has the number 2. Go to the side that does not have the number 2. Okay? So cross out 4, 8, and 15. That's it. So go pick 2 or 3 problems that have a number and get those done. And then let's start working on the ones with letters. Can y'all do that for me, please? All right, I'll walk around and answer questions.